Hello YouTube, it is me, Raina, and I'm here to talk about my kind of really recent love of Critical Role. Now, before I get into anything, there might be spoilers, just in case I may say something for future campaigns that you probably have not seen or want to see, just to put this in the forefront, just so there's no confusion. So when it comes to the world of Dungeons and Dragons, I've personally never have played the game. Shocking, I know. But I've always known of it basically all my life. I've seen people play it and all the other stuff, and I've seen it within games when I was in college, even though it's not Dungeons and Dragons. But, when it comes to the world of role-playing, of live action role-play, and I've seen these guys in college playing Magic the Gathering, which I think is another kind of role-playing game, and I used to always see it. And it's not that I was, ever against it or anything. I just never got into it. It just never, I was always into other things that I nerd out about, but I never got into the role-playing genre, Dungeons and Dragons, all that jazz and everything until more recently. And the major reason why is because I've always known of Critical Role because mainly Ashley Johnson. I know her the most out of everybody in those players, because of course she voiced Ellie in The Last of Us. I've been a fan of her since the first game came out, and I know that she was in this troupe of players that played this game. And also I kind of already know of Laura Bailey. She was in Last of Us Part 2. She played Abby. And I know she was in a lot of the Uncharted games. And of course, all these people are voice actors. But the one that I know the most for the longest has been Ashley Johnson. But even that, still, I wasn't really kind of into it. But I kind of, see it on Twitter, see it on Tumblr, see it kind of around on YouTube, but never really got into it. And it's really interesting. A couple weeks ago, I saw this gift set of Marisha and Laura Bailey, who are in this recent campaign, Bell's Hells, where Marisha is playing Laudna and Laura Bailey is playing Imogen. They're these friends that have been friends for 2 years. Marisha's Laudna, who's like an undead person. I will not go into her backstory. I will not spoil that because it's mind-blowing. And then Imogen, who is kind of like a witch or sorcerer. She's kind of introverted and, kind of not sure of herself. And this thing happens to where, Imogen feels that Laudna lied to her. And I remember seeing this gift set, and I'd never seen an episode. This is before I'd never seen an episode of Critical Role. I didn't know what it was about. I didn't know about any campaign, anything. All I saw was Laura Bailey acting her butt off. And like I said, I knew of her because of The Last of Us, and I thought she was amazing in that as Abby. And so when I saw this, I was like, oh my goodness. And of course, I didn't know who Marisha was at this time, but looking at her, I didn't know who she was. And now she was reacting off of what Laura was giving her. And it was just a gift set. And I was like, oh wow, this is packed with a lot of emotion. And what happened here? I'm kind of intrigued. It was out of context. I didn't know any of the characters, anything that was going on in the story. All I saw was just pure acting, and I was like, oh, this is what Critical Role is. Let me see what this is. And then I clicked on the scene. Once again, no context, actually watching that part of the campaign, that episode, and I was like, oh wow, the way Laura said you lied, and how Ashley reacted to her, and how Marisha was playing off of her. And I was like, oh wait, I gotta get into this. And I started watching campaign 3 from episode 1 to that particular episode, and seeing their friendship and seeing the story up to that point, and just being really impressed by all these people. And granted, yes, they are voice actors, and so they also know how to act. But through this campaign, and I've seen some stuff from campaign 1 and campaign 2, and just seeing how, it reminds me of like a table read in a way. It's not an insult. It's actually a great thing because, movies and TV shows especially do this thing called a table read, where the actors read out the lines just to get a taste of what the story is and how the characters are. And then this is so involved considering it's a game and you're playing it, ongoing for a long period of time. And to see like these actors really pour their all into this really pulls me into the story. And still at this time, I kind of get a hang of D&D and how you play it and which dice to use and the attacks and all the mechanics of the game, and I kind of get it. I want to do more research into that, but just to me, my favorite part of this is the story and the storytelling, especially by Matt Mercer, who is a great dungeon master, and I just love how he describes things. And it's no surprise that he writes books also, because just how he vocalizes everything. I'm like, oh yeah, you're a writer too. I can kind of tell by how he describes certain things. And it's very great. I watched, I didn't watch all of the second campaign, but I watched most of, like, of course, the Bo and the Yasha relationship. I think Marisha and Ashley did a great job with that. And now with campaign 3 and how it's going, it's still ongoing. I've caught up on that. And also I've watched the Exu Calamity prequel series. Oh my goodness. That thing tore me up. And I never cried, watching and I never thought I would cry, considering, you see people playing games, I've seen all the Let's Plays. I've watched a lot of Let's Plays of video games of like The Last of Us, Detroit Become Human, Spider-Man. I watched a lot of, God of War, like all these games. And then, this is somebody playing it and not actually, really playing the character. They're playing a video game, which is, just great and everything. But then when you see them actually role play the character and be in the character and going through all these true emotions, it's just something I never personally seen before. And it's kind of hard to describe. I don't even know. But maybe people who've, done this for years can express it better than I can, who play this game, who live action role play. But yeah, it's something that I've been interested in these past few weeks, and, catching up on certain campaigns and kind of researching in the game and everything. But, yeah, it's great. If you have not, watched all the campaigns or know who everyone is, it's fine, because I came into it very, very cold. Like, I didn't know anything about anything when it came to Critical Role. I mean, I probably had more help considering I knew who Ashley Johnson and Laura Bailey were before, but still, if you're coming into it cold, that's fine. But to me, what really got me is the story, the storytelling, and the acting. It's just immaculate storytelling, immaculate acting. I love all the actors, and I've only seen the main campaigns, like 1, 2, and 3, mostly 3, considering that's going on now. And Exu Calamity, I haven't seen anything else beside those. But yeah, if you've ever want to get into Critical Role, I suggest catching up on this campaign if you have enough time. I guess do campaign 2. I know campaign 1 was made into an animated TV show, which is on Amazon. I knew of that before I got into Critical Role. I was like, oh wow, they're really, going far. But yeah, anyway, I highly recommend this. It's a great series, great actors. I mean, people probably already know this because it's been going on for years, but any new people, just as something to watch on your leisure to really get to some really great storytelling, and characters and acting, highly suggest and recommend Critical Role. It's really a great thing, and just sharing emotion with people. It's just lovely. So, what do you think about Critical Role and role playing in general? Who are your favorite people? I know there's another one called Dimension 20. Any other ones out there on YouTube, Twitch, or whatever? Yeah, leave your comments down below, and bye YouTube.